Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ravens Cast. This is your host, CG, otherwise known as Camera Guy. As you can see, this is a very unbiased Ravens station. We have no. Oh, I'm just kidding. You know we love the Ravens. All right. Uh, let's have some. How about some intro music? That'd be cool. Yeah, man. We need some intro music. All right. Let's do a countdown first. Hello, everybody. How you doing? How you doing? All right. Well, the Ravens are going to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Yep. Great Joe Burrow. Wait, how about some little music to go in there? Let's go to space. All right, that's enough space for now. Okay, everybody, I got this mask on. I got no airborne disease. I just a little medical concern, nothing of major importance, but let's get on to the game. All right. First of all, it's the Ravens are traveling to Cincinnati. The Ravens have turned their season around in the last couple of weeks. The Bengals, they're playing well, I guess. Joe Burrow's playing well. But the rest of the team, I don't know. They're 1-3. Let's hear what the opponents now, the other side, is saying. So let's go to Cincy, and let's just hear what they are saying about the the Ravens game. All right, let's see. And here we go.
October 15th through 18th in New York City. Black Week is an economic conference that aims to move our culture forward and drive greater economic opportunity. Tickets can be purchased at blackweek.co/register, where you can use my exclusive code JHB Black Week to receive 20% off your executive registration. Black Week 2024. Claim your spot today.
C360 is back on ESPN 1530, Cincinnati's sports station.
That's what I'm talking about. It's the Friday Football Frenzy, and if you're not ready, and can't really help you.
Friday Football Frenzy.
Thank you to our friends at Penn Station. We're going to make some picks here. High school, college, NFL. After taking a week off last week because we were both off on Friday, we return. Austin 43-31 on the year. I am 37-37. Ready to make up some significant ground.
I'm Terry Francona. You're David Bell.
Wow.
Are they talking football and Bengals?
Write that down, huh, SpongeBob?
We'll see what happens.
I'm Zach Taylor. You're Marvin Lewis.
All right, I'll take Marv.
Okay.
Let's start with a battle of 5-1 teams. It's Mount Healthy traveling to Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know, like, what do you got to do? Why isn't my school on the list? Well, you got to do something to get on the list.
Well, let's switch out and see if they're talking about football on this
with
station.
you. What a Friday in the Queen City.
Unbelievable.
Weather is beautiful. The Reds have their new manager. My Guardians start the ALDS tomorrow. in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's
Fan
in baseball
Appreciation Day,
playoffs.
regular season home finale, and an opportunity
That's
to
what
get
it
right.
is.
I'm doing great. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Oh, by the way, Bengals Ravens on Sunday. What a weekend it
Bengals,
is.
Ravens on Sunday. That's right.
Before I dive into FC Cincinnati, I do. You just used the word "my Guardians." Well, your Guardians no longer associated with Terry Francona. He's a Cincinnati Red.
No.
You know, what were your immediate thoughts? Because
All right.
you know he stepped away, he retired, and a year later here he is with the Cincinnati Reds, and a huge
See if we
splash
can't move them.
for the Cincinnati Reds.
This is what Bengals radio is
absolutely.
talking
And
about.
to be
I don't
crystal
understand.
clear, I don't let the Ohio Cup come between.
That's my thought. I mean, what did you think of the Ohio
appreciation
Cup
for the
right
Reds.
away?
You know, I think it gets more intense, but I don't let the Ohio Cup come between my appreciation for the Reds and my fandom of the Reds 158 games a year.
All right, they're talking about the Reds.
And my lifelong love for the Guardians. So I want to hope this good. And I'm sure that's something that he evaluated during his year off. And I would imagine that
Into LAFC, they lose earlier this week to New York City. What is kind of the
end of the world, but is it concerning? Absolutely. And I think that Pat Noonan's the first one to tell you as much.
All right.
That he knows his group needs to come together and they need to play better. If you listen to either of our broadcasts, been consistently good enough all season that the drop in form over the course of the week, of the year, puts you in a place now where you're not in a panic.
Some shaky play, but also where the season they lose at home last week into LAFC. They lose earlier this week to New York City. What is
all right? Let's get past this. You guys don't even talk about their football team
from this group. And I think that was disappointing. It's going to be a telling 2 games going in.
Higher power, offensively and defensively, to compete for the MLS Cup.
Yes,
No,
but
they're talking soccer.
Who repeated yet this season? Then the question is,
these guys have a football team.
They were really good at that early in the season. Ray and I talked about it a bit on the broadcast on Wednesday night. They had that first half of the season. They had only has conceded goals in the first 15 minutes. Cincinnati in the final third.
Tommy, when you now look ahead, I know for the team, and we've discussed
it. And Columbus have a game in hand. Just lost 2 the other night, but you've beaten 2 other games.
These guys.
You could see Charlotte, depending on that, and you think about it, and you want, some of us were kind of joking. Well, that game was at Red Bull Arena. We're going to be. Hopefully soon. I don't know, man. I have a headache. Maybe it's because of them. I don't. It's very frustrating. He said, it must win, absolutely, but it's against one of the hottest teams to start the season. Yeah. I don't know. When I was talking to somebody today, and we were kind of saying, it wouldn't be surprising to see him, kind of play up to the level of where the Commanders are playing right now and create some issues and have a really good game. But I could also see it just getting lopsided and out of.
All right, let's see this one. There's another. Check this out. Let's see if they'll talk on this one about their football team.
This one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at
In Baltimore, we talk about our football
to
team.
the 18th in New York City. Black Week is
data, passwords, communication.
Encore Technologies. Visit encore.tech and by Simmer Track.
feeling good and hungry. It is Skyline time.
All right, here we go.
It's Friday. So you know what we're ready to do. We're ready to have a bunch of fun with you, the listener, 510, that is brewing.
Wow.
That we're talking about today. And it just so happens that, Tom Gallardo is a huge Cleveland Guardians fan.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Absolutely.
Baseball.
He wouldn't just.
Baseball.
That is the type of
baseball
players, but saying, hey, here's what he's buying into.
Appreciation to make good on this and make it worth the hype. And so,
Clark, in the year that she put together.
All right, are we going to
play that audio?
Enter it now.
Hollywood Casino, Lawrence. Trey Hendrickson, Miles Murphy, BJ Hill, McKinley Jackson, all cleared to play, coming off injuries on the defensive line against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday.
Let's listen.
Get the troops back this week, according to Zach.
Frenzy. Right. So I don't even like.
Hold on.
Okay.
There you go.
Before we get to that, can we give some breaking news that just came down?
Please.
On the Bengals. This coming from Paul Daner Jr. He says that the Bengals will get the troops back this week, according to Zach Taylor. Trey Hendrickson, Miles Murphy, BJ Hill, McKinley Jackson, all cleared to play, coming off injuries on the defensive line against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. Sheldon Rankin's the only one who will not play.
Love it.
But Hendrickson, Murphy, Hill, and Jackson have all been cleared to play and looks like they're good to go for Sunday.
Love this. Big
Love
news
it.
there for the Bengals.
Big news.
Um,
Now talk
I
about
don't-
the football game.
I don't think it's a must. Why these TVs in here just talk at random?
Yelling at you?
Yeah. Anyway, scary.
It is a
He
must
was
win for the
yelling at me in the
Bengals.
studio.
Well, if you say Chris Canty's
That's
name,
not right.
Yeah, if you say it three
or something,
times, something negative about the Bengals appears. All right. Chris Canty, I think at this point, Austin, he gets so much reaction from people
Yeah.
that whoever his agent or whatever is probably saying, just keep doing exactly what you're doing because it's working, because people are talking about it and people are discussing it. So I'm sure he doesn't even care that we're going to play this and talk about it. But can we play this
All right.
audio?
Yeah, this is from Get Up. And I want you to just notice how Canty's argument changes over the course of this conversation. Starts with Canty. It's a rebuttal by Ryan Clark, and it finishes with Canty.
Our team, but what I'm not going to do is allow the quarterback to skirt criticism and be immune to a 1-3 start. That's
Talking about Joe Burrow.
not what I'm going to do. Y'all can stack me down with all of the fantasy football numbers. That's all well and good. But Joe Burrow started out this season continuing to lose games. He lost 5 consecutive starts going back to last year before last week. What I'm not going to do is make Joe Burrow immune to their start. He started out the season losing 3 straight games. Lamar Jackson's never done that in his career. Josh Allen has never done that in his career.
Your
Patrick Mahomes,
argument
at
works
any
if you're
point
talking
in his
about
life,
that.
they've
Josh
never
Allen and
done
Lamar
that.
Jackson have never been to Super Bowl, so it doesn't matter.
Never done
So
that.
here's what I'm gonna say. Like, here's why these things can be separate.
Go ahead.
Right? Deshaun Watson, not Deshaun Watson that's in Cleveland, but the Deshaun Watson that's in Houston. Right?
Mhm.
In his last year in Houston, he was probably the best player not named Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
The team was terrible. Right? Like there's a time where he's walking off of the field and J.J. Watt goes up to him and say, man, we wasted a year of your life. There's sometimes, even in this game, where your quarterback can be good. Your quarterback can do everything that you want him to do, and there's just dysfunction around him. Joe Burrow's playing good ball right now, Chris.
But RC, you act like we ain't never seen this with the Cincinnati Bengals. They had Ken Anderson, who won an MVP and got to a Super
Boomer
Bowl.
Esiason.
He only won 2 playoff games in 17 years. Boomer Esiason won an MVP, only went to the
But he's
playoffs
won 5.
twice. Went
But
to
he's
a
won
Super Bowl.
5.
Can I finish? I mean, we've seen it with Carson Palmer. He got to a conference championship game, but it wasn't with the Bengals. Why? Because he wanted to get the hell out of there. Andy Dalton went to 5 straight playoffs and didn't win a playoff game. I don't understand why we've gotten to a place where we want to give the Cincinnati Bengals the benefit of the doubt just because they got a good quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Well,
It's maddening.
I agree with these guys.
I'll go first if you want.
Please.
Okay, so here's how I view this. Number one, I don't want to talk about this because this is exactly what they want.
Mhm.
That show and the people on it, for the most part, suffer from diarrhea of the mouth. They never shut up. They say a bunch of stupid stuff. And because the fan base and the people on social media and people like us react to it, they continue to do it. So take all of it with a grain of salt and put it through that lens. But also, this to me is just a poor argument. This is somebody who changed his stance in the middle of that conversation. He starts it off by saying the quarterback deserves criticism for the team's bad starts. Ryan Clark makes his point, and then Canty turns it into, well, it's the Bengals. This is what the Bengals do. Okay, that is an argument that's fair. Historically, the Bengals have fallen short. The other point of the matter is that Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason and Carson Palmer have been great players that, because of the organizational dysfunction around them, were not able to reach the pinnacle. That is a valid point if you are going to talk about the Bengals organization. But to put the blame on the quarterback is just misguided. Yeah. And he said he doesn't want all the stats. That's fine, but the stats tell the story of how good the quarterback has played and how bad the defense has, and so on. The starts that he lost, the New England game, I'll put that on Joe, 100%.
Agree.
The Kansas City game, I wouldn't put that one on Joe.
I wouldn't put it on Joe, but you could make the argument that they had the ball with 7 minutes left and a chance to go win.
Sure. and he fumbled.
Mhm.
And yeah, okay, fine. But overall, has Burrow been the reason that this team has
Agreed.
failed last
Absolutely
year
not.
and is failing this year?
Absolutely not.
Especially when you look at him
As a starters, 8-1 against the Bengals.
From football to basketball.
Drive greater economic opportunity. GHB.
Vanish on all your
The ins and outs of football. You just have to watch. There isn't a person out there that you can legitimately say, just go watch the game and tell me Joe Burrow's not one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Mhm.
That to me, that's when it just becomes arguing to argue.
right.
All right, so it seems that the temperature in Cincinnati is that they starting to argue against the quarterback, but I had to agree with those guys. Joe Burrow's playing quite well. But on the other hand, if the Bengals lose this game, they are really up against it. But they have their quarterback, and he's not the reason they have such a poor record. All right. Thank you, Cincinnati Sports Radio, for giving us a bunch of free content here. I hope it wasn't too long. I think it probably was. We're just getting near this. Okay, then. What do I think about the game that's about to be? Let's look at the game. We have we have the Bengals. The Bengals. Where are the Bengals? What do we need to know about this game? Let's hear from our own people. Let's hear from inside the Ravens. Let's see what John Harbs is saying. All right. This is from a press conference earlier this week. Let's see. Let's go back here. All right. And we'll watch this. Huh? Wait. Stop sharing. Okay. All right. All kinds of things together. Now we're going to share this with let's see, is this it? Yeah. All right. Let's see what John Hart is saying about Nate Wiggins is learning fast. John, speak, man. That's what we look like here. All right, let's go to this way of doing it. Here I am over here on the side, waiting for them to come through. But for some reason, that video's not going. Okay, let's go to Zay Flower, see what he says. All right, let's go to this one. 3 keys for the win. All right. For some reason, computer's going slow there. Not sure what's happening there. Oh, here we go. Yay. Unprofessional. All right. Let's keep waiting. As that buffer rolls around, let's see if I can't give analysis. Well, the Ravens are playing out of their minds, but it's a road game. So, just not sure how that's going to go. Sorry about all the technical glitches from fans, but it is I don't know what it is. All right, we're going to look at the game then. Let's see. What do we need to know about the Bengals game? Yeah. All right. Well, the game in Baltimore, it's going to be on WBJZ at 1. It's going to be at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. The last meeting came in the 2022 Wild Card Playoffs where the Bengals won 24-17. Tyler Huntley, completed 17 of 29 passes, 2 touchdown interceptions. But remember Huntley's fourth quarter fumble on a quarterback sneak. This is the last time that they met in the postseason. All right, now if the Ravens win, they will have a 1-game lead. They'll be 3-2, and the poor Bengals will be not too good at 1-4. Ravens will be 2-3. The Bengals have so defense, but the key will be clearly if the Ravens can run against the Bengals. The thing is, run the ball. Throw some, throw high percentage passes and control the clock and field position and see what our defense is like against the top quality quarterback in Joe Burrow, potentially Hall of Fame quarterback if he doesn't get hurt much more, and Jamar Chase, the wide receiver. Those are the ones we have to stop. Sometimes the defense doesn't really play as well as I think they should, and it might be one of those games where the Ravens build a lead, and they've done this a couple in their wins. Really, they build a lead, and the other team comes storming back, but the Ravens take over with good running. So that's all. It's not too complicated. Try to keep Joe Burrow contained and run the hell out of the ball. Don't let Jamar Chase get crazy, and win a road game against Cincinnati and go 3-2, and you probably have to be considered the best team in the AFC. But as always, when the Ravens play a great quarterback, well, when any team plays a great quarterback, especially on the road, anything is possible. All right, everybody. Sorry about the glitches. I was trying a few different things. Still learning all this technical stuff. We will talk to you all later. I'm going to call the game Ravens 27, Bengals 24. And the Ravens will then be victorious. All right. We shall talk to you all on the other side later. Have a good night, everyone. From Baltimore, let's have some outro music. We need rock and roll. Let's get some rock and roll up in here. All right, everybody, like and subscribe. Talk to y'all later. And for now, good night.